Hello, my diatribe. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Diabetes with Nkirika, where I always share life changing tips through a lived experience lens. So, today I'm going to be discussing a topic that is so dear to me, which is time restrictive eating with type 1 diabetes. So, this is a topic that is so dear to my heart. I just love it. And today I'm going to be asking a question, or I'm going to explain in more detail what my research about type 1 diabetes and time restrictive eating as a dietary intervention, how they could both work together. So, topic of discourse is type 1 diabetes and time restrictive eating. Can they work together? Well, just sit and relax and listen to my explanation about the time restrictive eating and type 1 diabetes. We all know that managing type 1 diabetes requires constant attention to blood sugar levels, insulin dosing, and timing of meals. However, recently, time restrictive eating has gained popularity for its potential health benefits in persons living with type 2 diabetes. But can persons living with type 1 diabetes safely practice time restrictive eating? So, we're going to explore the science today, and I'm going to share my 4.5 year lived experience with type 1 diabetes and time restrictive eating and the benefits that I have had in this past 4.5 years. So let's start off with defining what time restrictive eating. So this is a type of intermittent fasting where you eat within a set window every day, typically between 6 or 12 hours, and you fast for the remaining time. Unlike other fasting methods, time restrictive eating actually doesn't limit calories or intake of different food groups, but instead it actually focuses on when you eat. So let's talk about the science behind time restrictive eating and type 1 diabetes. So, time restrictive eating, the acronym I use is TRE, has actually shown a promise in improving the metabolic health, increasing insulin sensitivity, and promoting weight management. However, for individuals living with type 1 diabetes, insulin therapy could actually complicate the fasting periods. So, since insulin and carbohydrate intake are carefully balanced to prevent highs and lows, adjusting this balance during fasting requires very, very careful planning. So, research on time restrictive eating in type 1 diabetes is still quite limited, but we've got some studies and reports that suggest that its potentials can help stabilize your blood sugar levels when done correctly. And if insulin adjustments are not properly managed, there is an increased risk of hypoglycemia, which is the low blood sugar. So, we're going to talk about the potential benefits of time restrictive eating for persons living with type 1 diabetes. So, the first one is you have better blood sugar control. Some people find that fasting actually reduces the blood sugar fluctuations, thereby making diabetes management much, much easier. And secondly, we've got improved insulin sensitivity. So, eating within a shorter window might actually enhance how your body responds to insulin and potentially reducing the total daily insulin doses that you take in a day. And the third one is simplified meal planning. So when you have fewer meals and you count your carbs, it's actually easier for you to manage your carb counting with your insulin dosing, and it even makes it like more straightforward. So I have just discussed about the potential benefits, and we all know that in life, anything that has a benefit actually has a consequence as well. So now I'm going to discuss about the risk and the potential challenges that you might encounter with time restrictive eating and managing your type 1 diabetes. So the first one is the hypoglycemia. So the extended fasting without proper insulin adjustments can actually lead to dangerously low blood sugar levels. And the second is glycemia. So this is the high blood sugar. So if your insulin doses are reduced too much, fasting could result in having elevated blood sugar levels. And then the third risk and potential challenge is individual variability. So each individual living with type 1 diabetes actually responds differently to dietary changes. So making a one size fit all quite impossible. So the next um, thing I'm going to talk about are the practical tips for trying time restrictive eating with type 1 diabetes. So, first and foremost, you must consult your doctor or endocrinologist before making any changes, and you have to discuss time restrictive eating with them so that you can come out with a plan that works best for you. And then number two, you have to start slowly. So you gradually reduce your eating window rather than making like drastic changes. I always tell people this, you start slowly. I started with a fasting window of 6 hours before I increased it up to 18 hours that I'm doing just now. And then the third is you must use a CGM. So this actually helps you to track your blood sugar levels and detect lows very, very early. So if you don't have a CGM, it's going to be difficult for you to manage time restrictive eating and type 1 diabetes. And the fourth is adjusting insulin carefully. So you have to work with your healthcare provider to modify insulin doses appropriately. And then the fifth is keep emergency snacks handy. So I always have emergency snacks, and this helps me to treat unexpected hypos when they come. Yes, I fast, but and sometimes I do have hypos. So I always have emergency snacks to treat this. And then the sixth is you have to listen to your body. So if time restrictive eating doesn't feel right, it may be the best approach. It might not be the best approach for you. So you have to listen and work with what your body tells you. So I'm now going to talk about my personal experience and how I have thrived with time restrictive eating with my type 1 diabetes. So I tried time restrictive eating as a dietary intervention with my type 1 diabetes for the past 4.5 years. And I've had a very, very amazing experience. So I followed a 16 to 8 hour fasting window where I actually fasted for 16 hours and ate within an 8 hour window. So the good things that I noticed were I had better glycemic control, and my pre-existing secondary complications like retinopathy and peripheral neuropathy have not progressed in the last 4 years. And I have actually experienced less glucose variability, which is so, as in, I can't begin to express how happy I am with the reduction in glucose variability. And my insulin requirements, because I don't eat as much, my doses have really reduced. And I have lost like a lot of weight, which I have maintained in the past 4.5 years, which is so super amazing. So let's continue with the discourse. To break my fast, what I usually do is I eat different meals, but I am very mindful of my portion. You all know I always talk about portion control. And I start off with breaking my fast with a fruit meal. And I notice that this doesn't spike my blood sugar levels at all. So for my hot meals, I focused on reducing my carbs and increasing my intake of fiber. So this helped stabilize my blood sugar levels, and my energy levels remain very constant like throughout the day. And I experienced, like I said earlier before, like serious massive weight loss. And this is such an added benefit. And I have been able to maintain this weight loss for the past 4.5 years. So whenever I experience a hypo, I usually treat with a fast-acting carb like orange juice or Coke Original. So this actually worked for me because it ensured that I could safely continue with my fasting while managing the hypo. So my final thoughts are time restrictive eating actually may offer benefits for some individuals with type 1 diabetes, but it comes with potential risk, which I have discussed earlier. So for you to safely practice the dietary intervention time restrictive eating, you have to plan carefully, you have to be under medical supervision, and personal experimentation is very, very key. So that's you understanding how your body responds to the fasting with your insulin dosing and the hypos and the hypers. So if you are considering trying time restrictive eating, you have to take it slow, monitor your glucose levels very closely. So you must use a CGM and always prioritize your safety over trends. So remember, like, share, subscribe, and you hit the notification bell to get notified when, oh gosh, I'm so excited to get notified when new episodes on Let's Talk Diabetes with Nkirika are uploaded. So I'll see you guys some other time. I'm going to be talking about the time restrictive eating more and more. So stay tuned. Bye.